These are 11 things I wish I knew before becoming a digital nomad. They would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of heartache, a lot of headaches in particular, and shitloads of stress. So I've been nomadic for on and off for, that was my chair by the way, on and off for 6 years. And I made shitloads of mistakes, and here are the biggest learnings I've taken from those 6 years. Number one is community is a massive skill that you need to learn how to get. Like you need a community around you. You need friends, and not this kind of like short-term friendships. If you're in places for 10 days, even 1 month is pushing it. Like stay longer, slow down, and really get to know people. And also get to know the right people. So that doesn't mean just going out to pub crawls or going out to like any kind of coffee meetup or digital nomad lunch. Make sure you're finding the right people who have shared values. So you just ask yourself, what do I like to do? For me, this looked like joining a clay workshop, making clay, going to a sketch club. I wanted to do more art. That's one of my resolutions. And so I put myself in those situations, going to a climbing gym, a hiking club. All of these things are really important. And I also think finding other nomads, I burnt out so many times, and I was so painfully lonely. I wanted to make the dream work. I knew it was possible, and I knew I was, because I'd find myself in these amazing places alone and really miserable, just at my computer all the time. So that's a big one for me. It's like go onto nomads.com, host a meetup in a city that you're going to be in. Some of my best friends here in Chiang Mai, I met at a coffee meetup I started. So I think that's just find your community, and when you meet other nomads who are doing it like properly, who've been doing it for a while, you can learn a lot. And yeah, I think that you also, because you have those shared values and shared lifestyle, it's just necessary. You need friends basically, and you need friends who get you too. So that's the first one. Just stay longer and really go to co-working spaces. That's another thing. Classes, events, like all of these places are a great way to make friends. Number two is have fun, like actively pursue fun. The people who have more fun, I think this was on a podcast with someone from Harvard talking about happiness. And it was the people who are happier are ones who put time in their diaries for happiness. So just because you're traveling, full time, or how amazing, it doesn't mean it's going to be fun. You have to literally plan out your days. Friday, I'm going to ask a friend if they want to go on a hike. Sunday, I'm going to ask a friend if they want to go to this sound bath, at a meetup or something like this. Whatever it is that you are interested in, find some friends, get out there, and prioritize fun with capital F-U-N, because otherwise, what's the point? And I didn't do that for the first couple of years. I just thought that it was fun. Fun was just going to happen because I was traveling, which it does, but you can make it a million times better if you really seek out tours or the amazing things that the place that you're in is famous for. For example, if you're in Portugal, why not book some surf lessons? If you're in Thailand, do some cooking classes. Like stuff like this is awesome, basically, and it's not done enough. So that was another one of my mistakes. Another mistake I made as a digital nomad was definitely thinking I could work full time. It's not possible, I don't think. And it's not possible because you have to factor in all of these other things that are going on. Your nervous system is constantly being bombarded with new places. It needs safety and routine, and it's just like so in order to, I've lost my trail of thought. Yeah, you can't work full time because you're going to just burn out in 5 seconds. You really need to have, I would say, 4 days a week at a minimum, because when are you going to spend time planning where you're going to go, what to do, all of these things take a lot of energy, as does just existing in a foreign place. So that is a big thing that I wish I knew sooner. When I first started being a digital nomad, I walked the Camino de Santiago while working remotely because I was like, why not? It's only 4 hours a day of work. I was working still part-time then. 4 hours a day of work, but I didn't factor in that I was walking for 7 hours a day, like 30 kilometers. Then I would have lunch, everyone would be in bed, and I would just be like, and that was my first big mistake. And when I came home from that trip, I had a massive burnout. So don't do that. Just factor in breaks and all that kind of stuff and rest. Next up, no work on travel days. And again, it comes down to this crazy idea that I had, which was just like blocks of time. It's only a 3-hour flight. I can work at the airport. I can work on the plane. I don't need to book any time off. And traveling itself is a big thing for your nervous system, like getting in a plane, especially if you're afraid of flying a little bit like me, getting all your stuff, making sure you don't lose your passport. There's just so many things that you have to take into account, like flight delays, all of this stress. And if you're expected to work at the same time, it's just an overload. It's too much. So now I will try and book a flight the evening after my work, before the weekend or during the weekend. So that's a no-brainer. Next up, we've got, one second, let me have a little look-see at my list here. Routine. Routine is a massive one. And a lot of these things come with staying longer, slowing down your travels so that you can have a routine. Same time, wake up in the morning. Same thing for breakfast. That sounds really boring, but I have like oats and banana, nuts and sultanas, and I make sure I'm not just like eating out every single meal. I have my breakfast at home. And then I probably would say I eat out for the majority of the rest of the day. But breakfast at home, it's always the same thing. I go to the same restaurants. I have my spots, my coffee shop, a co-working space where I work, or a co-working cafe where I go every day, same place, same thing. And before I was like, I want to try all the different coffee shops in town. I want to try all the different co-working spaces. And that chews up so much. Not only does it chew up mental energy, but it chews up your nervous system's like energy as well. It's just it's going berserk. So don't do that. I wish I had learnt sooner to just chill and have a very solid routine and factor in rest basically as well. Save your back. That's the next point, which is just like, I'm seeing it now because I've been nomadic on and off since 2019. So I've been, working on my laptop like this on street corners, in co-working spaces and various places around the world. And I had a neck stand, but I didn't really use it that much. It just kind of sat around in my bag because I thought it was lame. But now I wish I used it because I'm getting some neck issues, some back issues, and a lot of the people I know who've been working the way I have for years are also experiencing that. I knew of one guy who had it. He had to be flown out of Thailand because of some back issues and steroids and all this kind of stuff. So if you've got pain, like, listen to it. Get up and move. I do Pomodoro every 25 minutes almost. Have a little break. Get up. Have an alarm that reminds you to move. And like, don't stay in your bed and like work like this, or go to a cafe with really bad chairs and stuff like that. Like, you need. This is what's good about co-working spaces. They usually have like ergonomic seats, and you bring your neck stand in there, and you just or whatever laptop stand you've got. That's something I wish I thought about sooner, because obviously like that kind of that action compounds on your spine, and that also comes to like making sure you're fit and healthy. So going to yoga regularly, having a gym that you go to, going running, like all of these things are. I was never unhealthy, but it wasn't stuff that I prioritized, and now I'm going to prioritize that for sure. Okay, so next up on the list, nomad life isn't automatically cheaper, so bring your expenses down. And I wish I knew this sooner, because when I first started being a digital nomad, particularly after I left again after COVID, I was very much like, YOLO, who knows what's going to happen? I've got to just get out there and do the thing, live my dream. And I spent so much money. I would stay in these like fancy Airbnbs in Europe, and I would get like a 1-bedroom Airbnb just in case my friends would come and visit me. And like yeah, a few times they did come and visit, but like it's just not necessary. So I was kind of like hoping other people would visit and like getting these bigger Airbnbs, for example. And I think that was just a total waste of money. I could have just stayed in like a crappy hotel room, which now my expenses are like so much lower. Like right now, I'm earning a quarter of what I was back then, and I'm living like just nicer probably, because I'm staying longer, I'm not traveling so quickly, and I'm just being more mindful about my expenses. Like my attitude when I first started, for example, was like, I'm in Asia, I would be spending $1,200 a month on my rent in Sydney, so I'm gonna just spend, tons on massages and like workshops and all of this stuff. Really expensive food, smoothie bowls, blah blah blah. And that was nice, but it doesn't give back as much as if I had invested. Like last year or a year and a half ago, I started investing my money a little bit. And just read The Barefoot Investor, like get a minimal understanding of finances, because when I was freelancing, I was awful. I mean, my tax was a mess, like everything was a mess, and it was disorganized. And it's so simple now to have investing, to do investing, and to just like save. Always have that 1-year buffer. Have a 1-year buffer. I just had a big burnout. I had to take 3 months off of work, and luckily I have a chunk of savings set aside for that. Not that, but for something like that, which I'm very grateful for. And I'd wish I had saved more, because I totally could have been doing it for 6 years instead of 1.5. I used a Vanguard app as well. It's really easy to use that. And then there's also, these are just ones that I use. So Vanguard, Stake, and Coinbase for crypto. But obviously I'm not a finance bro. Don't look at my actual bank accounts. That's just something I'm letting you know. I wish I started sooner. These are sort of the biggest things that I wish somebody told me before I started being a digital nomad. I'm still extremely committed to the dream of digital nomad life. I just think that have a 1-year blitz where you travel around and you have everything and you see everything, great. But just make sure that community is your priority as well. So stay in some co-living houses if you can. I stayed at Sundesk in Morocco. That was a game changer. There's a lot of other ones like that. Co-working spaces. Find the digital nomads. Learn from other people who've been doing it longer. And yeah, read the books from people who have done it. Like, as I said before, obviously like the OG is Tim Ferriss, and Paul Millard's got a really great book, as Rolf Potts is another one that was really changed the way I look at travel. So have the best time, get out there and do it, but just make sure you've got a routine, community, and you're prioritizing fun as well. Remember why you're doing it, and don't sit at your computer all day and all night and not move. That's it from me. Thanks for watching.